Good luck to us all.
Yes, it was a very resounding.
Brooke gave
we
us
hate
a
math.
hard no.
She gave like that was a deal breaker for her. I think.
Yeah.
Actually, and
If we tried to do math, she might leave.
I didn't say it, but like server math, we probably could have actually done.
That's a different kind of math.
You know, percentages, things like that. My brain does work that way.
Right.
If I was nice, I would do that. So let's see what happens.
Too bad you're kind of a bitch.
No, I was nice. Should I record on this computer or
just try recording to the computer so that we can get the individuals?
All right, ladies. So for our YouTube livers, which no one's here because we didn't tell anyone about it.
Hi.
But we will publish this.
Oh, they'll all
later.
watch it later.
We're
going to be viral.
Get started with our two lovely friends, Andrea and Brooke. Are we all ready?
Yeah. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I should put my armpits down. I told Kelly, my dermatologist told me I'm not allowed to wear deodorant for 3 months. So,
and I don't wear deodorant generally anyway. So
I guess I've never heard the term like I should put my armpits down. Like I just have never heard that before.
That's a new one.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I like it.
All right.
Hey, put your armpits down, buddy.
Put your armpits down. Okay.
Whoa.
Take a step back.
All right.
I can see your armpits.
Here we go. So, ladies, we'll bring you in just a minute. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Do you still love me?
It's questionable.
Okay.
Of course I love you. Just keep your,
armpits
you know
down.
what, you know where.
Okay. All right. Welcome to Fuck You, I'm Smarter, the comedy game show where we compete with two guests to be crowned the smartest person in the room. Zoom, YouTube Live.
Love how it just rolls off the tongue.
It's just a thing now. Two guests today.
I know. I love it when we have two guests because we don't have to play. It's our fancy way of getting out of work.
Yeah, we are putting a duo to the test today.
First fighting for supremacy of their duo.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So let's see how this goes because they have their own podcast, Sidework, and we hope it doesn't bleed into like their dynamic.
I hope not. What if we broke them up? I would feel way too responsible. I can't have that kind of heat on me. I hope they tie.
I hope they tie too. But we are not going to make any decisions.
No.
We let Marsha.
Let the chips fall where they may. Let Marsha make the call. Marsha, our fearless producer.
Yeah, we can't. We can't step in the middle of it. All right.
Is Marsha real or is that your?
Oh, bro, just shushy, shush.
Look,
She's talking this is crazy. What kind of a question? She's clearly right here.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say, like any weeded shift at a restaurant, sometimes you might say or do things to your coworkers you don't mean, but at the end of the shift, you're all friends again. So that's how I'm feeling.
And you're all sharing tips, so you better be nice. Yeah,
I'm not worried.
Well, good. Well, let's introduce our ladies.
Absolutely.
I mean, let's be honest, they're already here. Andrea and Brooke from the Sidework podcast, which we did a couple of weeks ago now when you hear this. Writers, comedians, friends of our pod as well. We've been for a really long time, so it's nice to see you ladies.
Great to be back in your company. Look at this. Having fun again.
I like this foursome.
We decided when we did your podcast that we are due for a Hagsy Hour.
Yes.
You'll have to listen to Sidework to know what that means.
Yeah.
But we are due. We're going out of town for a few weeks, and then Hagsy Hour.
Hagsy Hour is coming. Great.
Yeah.
It's gonna.
And
it's
that's
gonna be
trademarked, by the way. I don't. Any restaurants listening, you're not allowed. Right. You cannot. It is not. Yeah.
It's our thing. A Hagsy Hour. It's Hag Girl Summer. It's we got
it. Or we're just there to see hags. Also, it could be.
It's kind of
hag
all
watching.
Hag. Let's find a prime hag watching spot. Yeah.
Hag
spotting. I love it.
Oh God, so good.
Also, quick plug to Brooke is now officially hosting karaoke, I think on Monday nights.
Yes. Where is that, Brooke? We're coming. We are
Yes,
there.
I know. I was like, it's got all the time in the world to grow. I know some people are still feeling a little like, I have options for social life. I know that's still jarring to some folks, but it's at the Fable in Los Angeles, Eagle Rock, second, third, and fourth Mondays right now.
That's like almost all the Mondays.
It is. I'm going to get my first Monday back soon enough. I wanted to make sure I can handle it,
Yeah.
Not taking more than I can handle. Because when they did say it goes till 2 a.m., I was like, I'm sorry, what? I go to bed at 10.
I don't even know what that is anymore.
Yeah, but you know what? It goes by. And even Andrea, you were there and had an early morning, and the power of karaoke compelled you.
It did, and I was a good girl, and I really drink my low alcohol beverages very slowly and switched to water. But
Smart.
It felt completely amazing to get back out there and sing karaoke again. I'm not gonna lie, all the feels. I got like the nervous shakes when I was done with my first song.
I did too. I did too.
Great. I love
it.
So, anyways, come out and see me, y'all, if you're in the LA area. See all of us. We're all gonna be there. So
we'll plug all of your Instagram and
your
handles at the end, and they can kind of check out.
You could just plug my Venmo
with money, plug it
up
money.
Full of money.
Yes.
Thank you.
So,
there
ladies,
we go.
how do you ladies know each other?
We met in an improv class. It's a tale as old as time.
Tale as old as time.
Matt.
I love it. They really, some of the best long-standing lady friendships have come from moving from wherever you lived to a city to pursue a dream. We were like 22 going on 23. I was fresh off the boat from the Detroit area. Andrea just came in to work. She got transferred from a Buca de Beppo in Nebraska.
Yeah, I wasn't planning on pursuing comedy per se. I was just there for the Buca de Beppo job. No. But yeah, I was. Yeah, Brooke and I met in Chicago. Yeah, and doing improv.
I subbed in.
Tables. Yep, it was.
I subbed in. It wasn't even my class. I subbed in on Andrea's class, and we were friends forever from that moment forward.
That.
Yeah,
I love it. So
I also love Buca de Beppo. I'm not gonna lie. Now, are they still around?
Oh yeah,
they're still around. It's different than it used to be. It is not the same. I did go like a couple years ago or a year and a half ago, whenever the second It movie came out. I think that was the fall prior to lockdown. Because I went to Universal City with two friends, like kind of like a jokey night go to Buca de Beppo and like go see the second It movie. And the entire time I was just like, okay, I'm ready. This is going to happen. And then like all I did was point out the things that were wrong and different, like our entire meal to like all of my friends.
Of course, because you worked there. You knew how good it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
I did. I still have a soft place in my heart for Buca.
I do love that we're telling time by It movies. So it sounds actually really
probably not good. My timeline would be like, well, that was probably around the first time I picked up the novel. So I was 12.
I mean, that would be that for me too, because I was like, I remember when like the Tim Curry miniseries came out, and I couldn't sleep because he was so scary as Pennywise. All I thought about was, and when I moved to Omaha, Nebraska from California, where I had seen it, and then they had the big open sewers there, which they don't have. I was like, what the fuck? Where have you brought us? Like, I was like, we're all gonna float down here. Great.
Wait.
No, I totally remember that when I watched. I thought it was a movie. I didn't even realize it was a miniseries. I guess I watched it all together as a child, and then I watched it at my friend Nicole's house, who was like 2 houses away from me growing up. And when I walked back home, there was one of those sewer grates in between our houses. And I'm like, how do I get home? I have to go around
I can't walk past this.
I can't do it.
Also,
for years.
I can't get past, Andrea, you moved from California to Nebraska?
Yeah, my father worked for Union Pacific Railroad his whole career. So we were transferred from, Northern California. We lived in Lodi. And then to Omaha, Nebraska. We went after that.
So were you born in California?
I was born in Utah, in Ogden, Utah.
Okay, so you moved around a lot.
Oh, yeah, just from, Utah to California, California to Nebraska. And then all my family's still in Nebraska.
Nice. What kind of a student were you growing up?
Oh, God. I was like really, I talk a good game. I'll say that much.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I talk a good game. I'm not good at homework, really. I wasn't ever good at homework. I excelled in English, I mean, a lot of like more of the right brain things, I guess you would say. Terrible
Yeah.
at math until, ding, 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 I got a tutor, and then I was fine. It turns out.
Turns out just education is what
Right. I just learned differently, turns out, like so many people. So I think it was one of those things where, especially, in the 90s and suburban Omaha, Nebraska, it was just like it's fucking cookie cutter. It's just like everybody learns the same. If you don't get it, then you're a problem. Nobody ever thinks like you might need help,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But
or to just be taught differently. Oh wow, I'm really showing off the girls. I didn't mean for this
let
to be so low. Yeah,
but
right.
yeah, I mean, once I like actually got it, I started having fun with it. But like, I was okay. Not great. Not great.
Mm-hmm. And what kind of a crowd did you run with? Like, were you with like, drama
theater kids,
like,
and like kind of the skater kids, stoner kids, punk kids, like the alternative indie rock kids, and then I did a lot of theater. In school and outside of school, like community theater. So
same. I love that drama nerd, like skateboarder mashup that happens.
Me too.
With a lot of us,
Yeah.
Like I feel like she was more goth, I was more punk, but there was like this I'm too cool for the drama kids. I'm gonna hang out with this crew.
It's so true.
I'm gonna go to drama.
Yeah, you're like, cool. I'm not gonna be like the band chorus, like stagecraft kids. That's a whole different,
right?
Whole different group.
People.
Yeah.
I was
wonderful people mostly,
I was absolutely like skater, like huge, like music fan. Also, like going into the theater kids,
the cool theater kids,
the cool ones.
Right. Let's get that straight.
I definitely hung out with the kids that would like go to the back of this like school to smoke cigarettes at break, during theater practice.
Yeah, for sure. What about you, Brooke? What kind of student were you?
I mean, I got it done. I got it done. I'm definitely a procrastinator. Have been a procrastinator since I was born, probably.
Same.
But yeah, I also like talk about like being schooled in the 80s, which is like Andrea and I's experience. It's like you go back and you're just like, no wonder you come out of this with like low self-esteem or thinking you aren't good. And I also went to fucking Christian school, kindergarten to 8th grade. So it's really about indoctrinating your head with what would Jesus do versus giving you a decent education. In 3rd grade, it's the weirdest thing. I have so many weird memories. Our school didn't have room they just decided 3rd grade. So every morning we would get on a bus and be bussed out to this weird spot on the other side of town called Gethsemane, which we all know is the Garden of Gethsemane. It was so weird. It was a freestanding schoolhouse that's where 3rd grade happened for 3rd graders.
Like instead of just getting like, they couldn't just get like a couple portables to put on.
Wow.
It's like the 13th floor. Like we're just gonna try to sort of skip over it. Shove it in the corner.
There's no 3rd grade in this grade school.
I'm
so
like seriously, like what were they grooming you for? Like ultimately, do you know?
Seriously, that's psychotic.
I know. I'm just kind of remembering this too, and like of course, like back in the day, those big old like huge bucket seat buses I remember the bus driver got into a fucking accident commuting us to Gethsemane. A bunch of us went flying over seats. People's heads and faces were bleeding.
Oh my God.
Holy shit.
Because they just couldn't keep 3rd grade on campus.
I don't know. But so it was just a weird thing. But yeah, I was shamed a lot. I definitely learned differently. I'm also a really like literal person. I've learned, I've just been shamed. I was a brownie, then got kicked out of brownies. I never made it to Girl Scouts. But I don't know what to say. My brain works really different.
Yeah.
I'm an intelligent human, as I've come to learn, but there was a lot of public shaming and discipline in front of the class. So you get shut down after a teacher drags you up to the front of the class by your ear and then tells everyone how stupid you are. And you're just like, I guess I'll never open my mouth again.
Yeah. Horrible.
Wow.
There's some fun sexual abuse too. It's got everything, but
Yeah, wow.
And
so anyways, I learned how to protect myself. That's what I learned in grade school and beyond. Then high school, I guess, like I mean, this is funny. I was a cheerleader. I was like but I hung with everybody. I would be hanging out. Here's my thing is I'd be wearing my stupid cheerleading uniform, but hanging out with the burnouts and like cracking jokes and shit like that. And then by the end of high school, even though I was like a really, really good track runner and athlete and all this shit, I desperately wanted to do the school play. And they both happened in the spring after school. And my track coach, I know my track coach came in his stupid fucking track uniform and whistle and tried to drag me off stage for the spring musical. And he's like, you're supposed to be doing the 4x200 relay, Van Poppelen. And I was like, but I want to sing.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What was the musical? Do you remember what it was?
South Pacific.
Oh
my God, South Pacific.
Nice.
I in college.
That's
nice.
So what'd you do? Did you do the run or did you do the
I quit.
play?
They were, and then that whole thing, it's just so funny that the way, and this is how my parents' brains worked too. They're like, you've got one little shred of athletic ability. You're doing that for life. And I was like, just because I can run doesn't mean I want to.
Right.
And the way society in the 90s and shit like that too is like, you really fucking shit up for yourself, Van Poppelen, quitting track. And it's like, I went on to be an entertainer for a living.
Right.
You're like, I run different kinds of races.
Yeah. I was like, who makes a life out of being a good track runner?
Right.
Please.
Right.
I love that neither of us even touched on middle school because let's never go there again.
Well, I was just there. I was just there the whole time. It was the kindergartners were in the building. It was so fucked up because the far side of the building were like 14-year-olds who were smoking and punching each other. And then there were babies that were wandering the halls with us. It's very messed up. Christian school is very stupid.
Yeah.
So it was like all grades?
All grades. I went to school my entire life with the same fucking kids, and they think that like we're lifelong friends, and I'm like, we're not. But
right. Except for that third grade / blip year that Brooke had.
That blip year.
That blip year. I'd love to know like the meaning of that. Like, well, what year doesn't matter? Third grade. Let's shoot over there for third grade. They can afford to lose about an hour out of their day every day
to travel to a different location.
To commute to a different building. What the fuck?
That is so weird.
How come we didn't just get dropped off of the different school when you go to third grade? I don't know.
I mean,
we wouldn't have heat sometimes. It was a mess.
Right. I mean, this is the thing. We just had year-round school, and that just solved the problem of not having enough room for the kids all at the same time.
Right. I never did that. Did you do that, Andrea?
In California, and I don't think it's really done much anymore, but it was kind of amazing. I'm
sure parents were all about it.
And for teachers, I think was really good too, because you're like 3 on 2 off, I think. Or,
Right.
Yeah. I remember in Florida they would vote for that like every few years, and some schools
did it ever
would do
actually
it, or some
happen?
districts. I don't know. I feel like some
did.
schools did it.
I can't remember if I ever did it or not.
Yeah. But I like that idea because, like, what do your parents do when it's a break? You're, like, in camp. You're doing this, like, the money that must be spent.
This entire pandemic ruined families,
Yeah.
Because that's the plan. Crazy. Teachers are supposed to look after your kids 5 days a week.
Right.
You know?
Like, that's the only way. Like, weekends are dreadful for parents, I'm sure. Like, I have to spend time with my child.
It shows what kind of mom you're going to be.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm not kids at. I'm holding on for as long as I can. Well, ladies, should we play?
Yes.
Let's play.
Let's get into it.
Yeah, we'll get into more of your relationship with Jesus, Brooke. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, please.
There is none. We're on a break. We've been on a break since 9th grade.
Third grade.
So
since 3rd grade, when Jesus was not behind the wheel.
You were like, what would Jesus do? Not ship me to this weird classroom in 3rd grade. So when you guys did your homework for this show, you both were like aggressively against math. Brooke more than Andrea. Brooke was like, I think college.
She said she quit college
because of math, right? Is that
they
what
were
said?
trying to make her do math? Is that right?
Basically, they were like, if you want, I was like trying every possible. At this point, I was just switching majors to see if any of them didn't have math as a prerequisite.
Right. Yeah.
And at this point, I think because it was just a stupid state school, it wasn't a liberal arts, it wasn't, any of that shit. And basically was like, you're a semester away from a degree, but you're going to have to do math. And I was like, fuck it, I'm out of here. And then I moved to Chicago. I just left college. I was there for 6 years.
Where'd you go
and
to
then
college?
didn't get a degree.
Oh my God. Where was that?
Michigan State University.
Oh, okay.
I didn't want to be there either.
Ladies, we're going to math.
All right, let's do it. I'm ready.
I'm not terrible at it. Just fractions are great for cooking.
Geometry was terrible for me.
I made this side work appropriate for your podcast, Side Work, which is a podcast all about the restaurant business. I know you guys both were in the restaurant business for years and years and years. You know how to do a check. You know how to tip. I made it as side work friendly as possible.
Amazing.
Okay.
Can I ask, or do we just take turns answering, or do we just shout them out as quick as we can?
I think it would be fun because there's only 5 questions to shout it out as quickly as you can. Okay. So we're gonna do a little math game called Math Mess because math is a mess.
Okay.
And it's also called what would math do?
What would math do?
Just not do math.
Would Jesus do math?
It's brunch related.
Okay.
Love brunch.
I ask you to pay attention, write down the answers from each question because they're all kind of connected. Okay, so answer number 1 will lead into question number 2. So just keep a tally on your piece of paper what we decided the answers were.
Okay.
So if you know the answer, just yell it out. Well, we're playing today. It's Andrea against Brooke. Kelly and I are just going to be your teachers. And if if we get to a point where someone needs a lifeline, you can ask one of us, but we probably won't know the answer.
Okay, great.
Right.
Great.
Or if I need to call my therapist.
So basically, what you're saying is there's no spare in the trunk, is what you're saying.
There's no spare.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're the spare, and we're already on a
deflated. You're deflated.
Yeah.
So we're at brunch, ladies.
Yay.
We're at brunch. The
Hashtag
mimosas
girl
are
boss.
flowing. Woo! We've got some Bloody Marys happening.
Oh yeah, there's
on the
some
menu.
beautiful hags walking by.
Yes, there's so many hags. And you currently only have $60 in your bank account because you thought that going on a 3-day post-COVID food and beverage binge was more important than being fiscally responsive because, look, the past year and a half has been tough.
Yeah.
So you've got $60 in the bank account, but you're still going to fucking brunch. Okay?
They won't take it away. They can't take it from me.
Today, you get your bi-monthly paycheck of $14.50. Okay? So you get paid $14.50, which is just
$14.50.
No, $1,450.
Oh,
yeah.
I was like, I've never seen that.
Yeah, you're
ever.
Brooke, your karaoke job, you're killing it. Okay,
right?
So $1,450.
It's bi-monthly,
twice a month. So every 2 weeks you get that.
Got it.
Now your rent is $1,400. Okay, and that's also due today. So you got paid today, and that's due today, $1,400. Once you pay your rent, how much money will you have left in your
$110.
$110.
All right, Andrea gets a point.
I let her finish the question.
Just yell it.
Just yell. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
That was very respectful of you, Brooke.
Okay.
Well, there will be no more of that.
But apparently you don't get any advantages for that. So
okay.
Yeah,
be more of an asshole.
That's how the rules work in this game.
It's how America works. Be an asshole.
It is so true. I know.
Yeah.
You've got your 110. You go to brunch with some friends. The hags are there. And you decide to order an Eggs Benedict for $18. And you see that Bloody Marys are on the menu for $15 a pop. So you get your Eggs Benedict for $18, and you're like, how many Bloody Marys can I buy? So how many Bloody Marys can you buy
3
with the money you have left?
3.
No, that is incorrect.
Oh, wait. 4.
Got it.
Do you want to try to steal, Brooke?
Wait, how many you can have based on what you have?
Started with 110.
Oh, got it.
Benedict for $18.
Got
The
it.
rest of the
Got
money
it.
on Bloody
You're
Mary.
spending the rest on Bloody Marys. They're $15 a pop. How many
Okay.
do you get?
Okay. All right. Got it.
What's the answer, Brooke? You can do it.
You can get about.
Is there a time limit?
You get 5. 6.
Yes!
Wait! I mean, I could have yelled that out. I
There
don't
you
understand
go.
the rules.
You open your mouth incorrectly.
Yeah, but you said 5, which was incorrect too. So then technically, I should have a chance to answer
But
again.
then she just said 6 right after it, so
She
I don't
did.
know.
So I
don't know either.
I could
It's
see it
fine.
both. I could see it
It's
both
fine.
ways. Jesus doesn't do math, so we don't know.
Okay,
He
so
doesn't.
you decide not to get 6 Bloody Marys. Too many Bloody Marys. Okay,
Says
so you get the Eggs Benedict and you get 3 Bloody Marys. So that's
Okay,
all you get.
that's fair. Okay.
Eggs Benedict and 3 Bloody Marys. How much do you leave for tip if you leave 20%?
Okay.
Eggs Benedict, 3 Bloody Marys. How much do you leave for tip if you leave?
$9.60.
No, that is incorrect.
No.
Keep going. Anyone yell it out.
Wait. You do.
What do you mean? $18
Eggs
and you get.
Benedict, $18. 3
Right.
Bloody Marys.
Got it.
Did I do this?
Oh, 3 Bloody Marys.
Got it. You
Bloody Marys.
do $12 tip.
Yes.
Actually,
12.6,
technically, it wouldn't-
I'll give it to you. Andrea knew it. She knew 12.6.
No, I just keep doing things wrong.
Shut
Shutting down.
No. There's only one last question.
That's
Don't
what math
shut
does to
down.
me too. I totally get it. Don't let
Andrea,
math
I
beat
am.
you.
My heart is racing. I've never
Okay.
been so nervous in my life.
The math is over. I just have one more bonus question. Okay? This is a bonus tipping question, but it's not really math. So you already got through the math. See, I was nice. I was a nice teacher. According to money.com,
Oh.
some millennials are really bad tippers.
Ugh.
Millennials are known to be foodies, and they tend to dine out in upscale casual dining establishments more than the older generations. Yet roughly blank of Gen Y. Is Gen Y millennials?
No, that's before.
That's kind of like
millennials.
that's
That's like
us.
Z and millennial in between. That's
Okay,
who I am.
okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Sorry, Gen
I get
Y.
confused. I don't.
maybe
Are
Gen
they older
Gen
than us or
Z
younger
is
than
the really
After
young right now.
millennials.
Okay.
They're the youngest.
So roughly blank of Gen Y tips less than 15% at restaurants. Is it A, 1/5, B, 1/4, or C, 1/3?
I'm gonna go.
Well, but
A.
you're talking about our age people though, because we're
I'm gonna
we're
go
like
A.
Gen Y.
Gen Y.
So our age.
Yeah,
think that's-
I'm gonna say yes.
where
That's
we
what Gen
are?
Y is. I'm gonna say A.
You're saying
Although we're a lot older than the people you're talking about.
I'm gonna say
What do
1/5. Millennials are Gen Y is older than millennials.
Way older, yeah.
Gen Y is between the Gen X and
And
millennials.
millennial.
Okay.
Mm.
I'm talking
So
Gen
that's like
Y.
us. Okay.
So that
You are
is
talking
like
Gen Y.
us. So like, yeah. So
Okay.
what do you think, Brooke? 1/5 is not correct.
Oh, tip less than
1/4
15
Or
cents?
1/3.
Less than
less.
15%.
Less than 15%.
These motherfuckers.
Wow, I would say a quarter do it.
It's 1/3.
Oh,
That's
well done.
terrible.
Shit.
In our age range?
1/3.
We should know better.
I know. It's
That's
really
not me.
upsetting.
But are they? Is this article saying that like Gen Y is worse than millennials or better?
Yes.
Oh,
They're saying worse. They're
interesting.
saying worse. Sorry, I worded it weird. They're saying that even though millennials, they must have had another percentage that I cut out. Gen Y is worse. Less than 1/3 tip less than 1/3 tips less than 15%.
Right. But the difference is statistically, we went on to do stupid things like try and own homes, which these earlier generations will never know. Don't worry about it. So they're like, brunch and tipping all day, baby. I live with my parents. It's the truth.
Right.
So this is a great segue into your podcast, Sidework Podcast. We're going to go to recess and talk about your podcast for a minute.
Okay, I feel calm again.
Yeah, back to safety. The math is over. So I love your podcast because A, it's funny because you ladies are
correct.
Incredibly funny, and
This
B,
is all-
I choose A. A is correct.
that is correct. But
Okay.
also B is correct that it's informative, and you guys give a lot of statistics. You talk about what's going on in the restaurant business right now. You know, I think a lot of our listeners know if you walk down the street and look, like everyone's hiring, everybody's trying to hire right now. So you talk about a lot of topical stuff that's going on with restaurants. How long have you had your podcast together?
It'll be 3 years in the winter, so
amazing.
Yeah, November.
About
Awesome.
two and a half, just over.
Did you ladies ever wait tables together?
We did
Oh, indeed.
Where?
at a place called Bad Dog Tavern in Chicago, which
I
doesn't
love
exist
it.
anymore.
And now hilarious. Bad dog. Life has come full circle. And our friend who has employed me for karaoke has purchased this bar that used to be called the Old Chalet. Andrea and I are probably going to have shows there. Maybe Show's going to do a karaoke night with me, what have you. The interior of this place looks just like our old job.
It is very similar.
Oh,
There's like stone walls, and we had stone floors at Bad Dog. It's very cavernous and dark. I mean, this bar's cooler, but the feels are there.
It's
like,
pretty. I know.
They're
I'm
building
like,
They're building a huge back patio, which we had a huge patio at Bad Dog as well.
Is that where the shows are going to happen, or is it in a room?
We don't know yet. We actually do not know. They'll definitely be room to do shows in that back patio when it opens.
He's hoping the back can be a dedicated space with its own fun little. He's turning a Tough Shed into another bar out back, so there will be a bartender in the Tough Shed,
Cool.
and it will be a dedicated space for people who can do live podcasts, comedy shows, fun shit like that. And then the inside can be just for regular old drunks.
Or karaoke.
And karaoke.
Every bar needs that.
But that's great.
Yep.
I've been location scouting a little bit because we want to do a live show soon.
Oh, very fun.
And I've been going to a ton of different venues and going to a bunch of different comedy shows. And I'm like, what is happening in LA right now? Like, everything is kind of garbage. So I think that's amazing that he's opening that, because I'm going to these places and it's like the sound is bad, or there's nowhere to put anyone, or it's like too many people in a small space. I'm like, we need to figure this out.
We do, we do not have to make the show about comedy. I was just laughing so hard because I was like, okay, I get that comedy's been shut down and there are people whose whole identities have been hinged on doing comedy. So there's this like really desperate rush to be like comedy at all costs. And like every venue that is inappropriate is like comedy on Thursday. And it's like, we're going to be the best comedy show this hot dog vendor's ever hosted. And it's like, calm down.
It's true. I keep seeing all these little pop-ups everywhere. So I've been going
comedy in the toilet.
I'm like, what's this location? And I'm like, no, like people are bringing in their own chairs and their sound systems and all their own stuff. And I'm like,
is
what
this necessary?
is happening right now?
Call me snobby. I will return to comedy when there is a stage, a green room, and a paycheck. So get the fuck out of my face.
Get it.
So, Brooke, when did you decide you wanted to get into comedy? Did you know, like, I know you did the play when you were younger. Like, what happened from there?
Oh, I thought she quit the play. Or did you quit running?
I quit. There's a lot of quitting. So I quit track. Then I did the play. Then I quit college and decided that I was just like, I had a friend who was having so much fun in Chicago at Second City and Improv Olympic. But I had lived under the guise. Well, I was like, well, I'm wrong. I was supposed to be a theater major. That's the only way you can do improv in these big cities. And then she was like, no, you just pay. You just pay them to be a comedian. I was like, what? So then, I waited tables and stayed at my folks until the fall. So I went with $2,000 in savings.
Wow.
Moved to Chicago. That money disappeared immediately. Immediately. And so was waiting tables, sign up for my first ever improv class, which was so fun. really great actor, Dan Backadall, was my level 1 teacher, first day ever. If I showed you a picture, you'd be like, oh my God, that guy, he's in everything right now. But yeah, and then it was just fully like, I love this. Then I knew there was an open mic happening within walking distance of where I lived for stand-up. And so I was like, I'm just curious. I want to go check this out. And I kind of stalked the open mic for a month straight. I went every Monday and I just sat in the back and got more and more and more furious at how stupid and bad so many of the male comedians were. And so I was just like, this is kind of my origin story where I'm like, I'm not going to be the best, but there's no way I'm going to be the worst.
Right.
People fucking suck. And that was that's how I felt confident, is I was like, it's not going to be a slam dunk. Andrea, you were there. I fell off stage.
I
fell off stage the very first time I did stand up. I didn't work very hard on my jokes, but I went to a vintage store and got really cool high heel 70s boots. Yeah. And then the heel crumbled as I was leaving to go off stage, and the whole heel broke off. And I was like, whoa!
In her defense, that stage was like not up to code. Like, let's just say that. Also, throwing it way back, but with a very topical relevancy now, Brooke pretty much slayed her SARS jokes at the time. Oh, yeah. SARS jokes.
Ooh, remember when SARS was crazy?
Oh, yeah, baby. So this was 2003, and SARS was all the rage. So I did my first ever set with a fucking with a fucking N95 mask on my face.
Oh, wow. We have come full circle.
Yeah. Wow, Andrea. God. Your first time.
Incredible.
It was great. I thought she was amazing. I was like the proud friend. I was like, she's so fucking great.
I was like, people are definitely interested, so that's not bad. I'm like, I've got a surgical mask on, and then I fucking ate shit and fell off the stage. And so they were like, yeah, who was that?
I'll never forget it. Well, I went to a comedy show last night, and I'll tell you what.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Men are still telling terrible jokes. Oh my God.
I can't do it. I can't do it, Lindsay.
Nick Turner got on stage and he saved the whole night. I was like, Nick Turner, thank you, Jesus. Like, I was like, you just saved the whole night. There was nothing funny happening on stage at all.
Oof, I can't do it. Bad. We've all lived through so much disappointment and mediocrity this past year and a half. I'm not about to go watch this.
No, I have no threshold for that anymore.
I mean, it was rough.
Bye.
Andrea, did you ever do stand-up?
I dabbled, but it just doesn't bring me the joy or pain that does a lot of people, I think.
Yeah. Where's your joy in comedy?
I definitely leaned hard into improv and sketch for a long time. Nice. I'm great at parties.
Karaoke. You need to invite her to your wedding. That's where she really takes the stage.
I mean, I love that. I'm a pretty A+ host, I would say. At a lot of things. It's just getting more confident. I just think there was stand up, and I just never truly vibes.
Bonded.
But definitely have had the timing bug my whole life,
Yes. Amen to that. The if I would have started this, I always start things too late, and then by the time I get good at it, it's on to the next thing that's popular, and it's
I think we can all relate to that.
Well, the world's ending, so that's a timing thing. I was totally born. I mean, we're all gonna make it maybe another decade
during the apocalypse, basically.
Yeah, I know. But I love comedy. Comedy runs. I don't know.
It runs deep in your vein.
It's my lens. It's how I see the world.
Totally.
I think all of us have that comedy lens on all the time. Always yucking. Put me in a room. That's why I'm I want to do punch ups. Put me in a room. I want to make dumb jokes. Yeah. I do really well playing off other people,
I know one of Andrea's stand-up jokes. She's like, I've been married so long, my dorsal fin has gone limp, or whatever.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, it was when, whatever the orca, what's the orca documentary?
Blackfish.
Yeah, when Blackfish and, when orcas are in the captivity, dorsal fins flop over.
Oh,
yeah, I was like, I've been in captivity so long, the dorsal fins flopped over.
Very funny.
I like that.
I love that.
That's
it
pretty
works
good
with the visual too. It's nice. It's just
a good
very Sad.
I think that I was like, but you know, if you like release me back into the wild, watch out, you know.
I love it.
It's like I don't know. I'll have to look up that notebook.
Yeah,
now look at how embarrassed I am. I feel now I'm just like, yeah, I wrote a joke. Get me out of here. Like that's how I feel.
Lindsay and I wrote a song one time. We wrote one song together. Performed it for years. Just this one song.
Just this one song.
We were like, oh, should we bring it back? We're like, actually, it's about turning 30.
Yeah. So
and we're almost 40. Yeah. So no, we're not singing.
Yeah.
Like, that ages. That really ages that song.
Yeah. Actually, it's pretty funny if you insisted on doing it and then be like, we wrote that song 10 years ago.
Yeah. And be like, let me go, fuck you, Bo Burnham, like right after.
Yeah. I think that's true, actually.
We should bring it back on your 40th birthday.
Beautiful.
Perfect.
Right, let's get back to class. Kelly has a real fun one for you. I promise you that.
Is it going to be as fun as math?
I hope so.
I hope so, too.
All right, let me get my new phone to work. It has a Face ID.
Oh.
Doesn't work in the morning when I'm looking at it like this.
You specifically should reprogram it so you look like that.
That's true. So I have to do that every time I pick up my phone to turn it on. I have to go.
I love that idea. Let's all do that.
Let's all do that. So we're just looking at our phones like that all day.
All right, so Brooke, you told us that you belong to a group called WISE in high school, which is Women in Space and Engineering, and it's basically what STEM is now. And you said that you, let's see what you said, you built radios, mixed the chemical compounds that make pantyhose.
Yes.
Because it was women, is that why they made you do it?
Right.
Because it was all girls?
I guess
that's something that you'll be interested in.
I know, but they're like, well, these ladies probably want a little souvenir to take home of chemistry.
Oh my God. Yeah.
It was really wild, though. Anyways, yeah.
That's crazy. And you said you got to operate a submerged nuclear reactor.
I did.
That is what I want to hear about because that is the basis of this game. We're talking about nuclear power plants. Woohoo!
Okay.
Yeah. So,
it was
tell us a little about that?
Yeah, we had this amazing. This was something I was like, I'm going on and on about education. I realize it really opens a door in people's brains when you're like, tell me about this. And you're like, wow, with some hindsight behind me, this was all extremely fucked up. I wanted to say that like, I really hated most of our male teachers in high school because they were all like the football or basketball coach who then they were like, how about you also teach chemistry and literally don't give a fuck and only like have, it would always be like the senior star basketball player would like be wandering the halls and like be like, hey, Mr. D. And he'd be like, sorry, class, I'll be right back. And then he'd like ditch us and then go talk to like a senior star basketball player. And I was like, I hate this. So we had the most amazing female biology teacher named Mrs. I think it was Mrs. Krickenberg. I could be wrong. I have to look that up. I feel so bad. She was great. She loved biology. I didn't realize I loved biology. And so she asked like students that she thought were interested at the most if they wanted to be part of a small group on the weekends where we chartered, again, a bus and we're taken to another school. But I remember we'd have to be there at like 7 a.m. because it takes about an hour to drive to the U of M campus. We were often going to U of M or other campuses around the Michigan area. And so it's just like 1 week, the focus was on mechanics. Second week would be electronics. And then, when we went
pantyhose for 3 through 6.
Pantyhose, radio. My little radio that I built was dope because basically I showed my dad, I was like, if you just turn to a static station, I can tune in and I'm going to broadcast from the back seat of your fucking Camaro. And so they were really impressed by that. I wish I still had those pump up the volume skills, but the nuclear reactor, cool. I just remember, I didn't understand that much about it, but because it's so powerful, and as we now know, a lot of nuclear energy is subdued as it's emerged underwater. The water helps keep all those wild atoms or whatever from nuking all of us, as they say. But
I'm not going to win this category. I know it already.
Well, let's see.
Andrea, I think you just need to preemptively shout Chernobyl.
No, I was still Karen's gonna do that anyway.
I know.
We're not gonna talk. Yeah, we're not gonna talk about any disasters.
No meltdowns. Okay, great.
No
meltdowns, but basically they were like, does someone, obviously with supervision, does someone want to like push the button to further submerge it? And I was like, I do. And then I got up there and I was like, am I going to kill anyone?
Is it going to blow up if I press this button?
And it was very thrilling to be like, I've got presidential power, and then they hit it. You couldn't really see much.
You couldn't see it, but you knew that you had a lot of power in that.
We were standing on like one of those like, metal bridges around, we were like in the nerve center of this, where this reactor was. So it was just very, you don't get to see that stuff. And especially when you're encouraged to like, just be a cheerleader. STEM was awesome. Not STEM, WISE. WISE was really awesome. And it was because the other important thing is most of your activities around education are spoiled because they mix the genders. And this was such a cool chance to be just women, just young girls. Yeah. And it was a lot of us some of us didn't really know each other very well because of what we were into, our social cliques, and we all became really good buddies.
Wow,
I love that.
That's so cool.
Pretty nice when you just like take stupid men out of the equation and then everybody wins.
How you can thrive without them keeping you down.
Exactly, and this teacher got that.
Subtly,
she really got that.
Like, That's cool. That's really, really cool.
As soon as you said that, I was like,
that would feel so much safer, so much more free.
Like, I would do that on my weekends now.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, can you imagine a teenage boy like, I'm going to get out of the way. I'm going to submerge the reactor.
Let me press the button.
He's like, launch, and then boom, we're all dead.
Exactly. No, that's the difference. You submerged the nuclear reactor in the way it was supposed to work.
Right. Exactly.
And he would have blown up.
He would have blown up all of
all of Russia or something. So, all right, let's go ahead and get started with our nuclear. I don't know what this game is called.
Nuclear. I think
it's called
nuclear.
Nuclear.
Yeah. All right, number one. Andrea, we'll start with you. This one, they say, is easy. This is true or bullshit. It's just true and false. True or bullshit. Okay. The main job of a nuclear reactor is to house and control nuclear fusion, which is a process where atoms split and release energy. True or bullshit? True. No, that is incorrect.
Whatever.
Whatever.
It is actually nuclear fission.
Fission.
Oh, well.
Oh, did you say fusion?
I said fusion.
Okay.
She was tricky, Andrea. That was tricky.
That was tricky.
I was being
Don't make me feel better. I'm joining WISE. I'm gonna go.
Yes, exactly.
Be nice to her. I want her to wax my eyebrows, and I want to come back.
Oh yeah, you're right. No, you're
right. And you still want eyebrows.
That's okay. We're gonna.
All I know about is waxing eyebrows. I don't know about nuclear power plants.
We're gonna get her. We're gonna get Brooke with this question. All right, so it'll be in Andrea's benefit. Brooke, tell us how a nuclear power plant works. Besides pressing the button.
What?
Just the basic.
I mean,
just like a basic overview. Like, what's happening in there? What's happening in there?
So what's happening is what you are doing is harnessing all of the energy that is created by fission, but it's a very delicate and controlled situation. That the thing that I don't understand though is like, are these nuclear power plants, hoarding and storing this energy just for the potential of war? Because I don't understand it. Nuclear energy is not a huge part of our power grid. So I don't fully understand.
I think it's because it's not understood like it should be.
I mean, I get that too, but I mean, for the most part, all we've seen are the bad effects of nuclear power plants having meltdowns and poisoning and destroying whole swaths of countries. But so like how it works, a little bit on the fence, and why we have it is still globally like a big question. So you don't have to take that for an answer because I don't actually know. Andrea, feel free.
I'm going to say it works by containing fission, which is splitting atoms and and creating energy.
Yes.
Or
I did say that.
it's facilitating it.
Basically, you both said the same thing, and that basically is true. So I'll just go ahead and give you a point. Why not? I'm feeling
Okay.
super
You're
generous.
still winning, Brooke.
Give Andrea just
Give me a little star. Give me a
Just
little
give her-
star on my
We'll
chart.
give you a star
Would
and
ya?
a sticker.
I need to feel special too.
I know. We need you to feel special.
We're giving
That'd
you a
be
self-esteem point. Oh wait,
You
did I
should
say
put her
that
name
out
on the
loud?
board.
So basically, reactors use uranium for nuclear fuel. The uranium is processed into these little tiny pellets packed into these sealed metal tubes called fuel rods. They shove the fuel rods into a reactor core. In there, that's where they're immersed in water, and that's where they start to split atoms. Okay, I don't know. I don't know either. It's confusing.
Listen, we've
But
all seen the
basically-
opening of The Simpsons.
I was
So-
just gonna say
Yeah,
that.
exactly,
That's all
exactly.
I know. That's
So
all
then
I
the
know.
heat that's created turns. This is where the power comes from. The heat that's created by the fission turns water into steam, which spins
Right.
a turbine to produce carbon-free electricity. So that's why.
But we don't use it?
No, we do use it, and that's my next question, Andrea. What percentage of America's electricity comes from nuclear power plants? I'll give you an A, B, and C.
Okay.
Does it provide 10%, 20%, or 30% of U.S. electricity?
I will just go. I'm gonna go 20%.
That is correct.
Woo! Yeah!
And apparently, actually, nuclear power provides 50% of carbon-free electricity. So anything that is a carbon-free electricity producer in America,
50%.
nuclear power is about 50% of that.
Wow.
Yes. And then here's a question for both of you. How many commercial nuclear reactors are there in the U.S.? Like, how many of these plants are in the U.S.? Just guess.
I'm gonna go
4.
at 50. I'm gonna say 50.
I'm going to give Andrea a point because she got closer. It's 94.
Wow.
There's 94 of these buddies.
I was trying to price is right us and
Yeah, you're
$1.
$1.
No, exactly. Yeah. Brooke, I have a question for you about wait, hold on. Yes, I have a question for you about women in nuclear science. Women account for just women scientists in general, never mind, just all science. Women account for less than what percent of the world's scientists and researchers? 20%, 30%, or 40%? Women account for less than what percent of the world's
I think it's
scientists and
20%.
researchers? It's actually 30%.
It is 30? Okay.
Yeah.
Brooke, that could have
I know.
been you if your track coach didn't hold you down.
I know. It could have been so many of us, It's like my mom
Yeah.
is like, she's a nurse, but she's like, I wanted to be a doctor and a lawyer, and societal norms, man.
Yeah.
All right, 2 more questions for you ladies. Andrea, in the 1983 film War Games, starring Matthew Broderick as David Lightman, a bright but unmotivated Seattle high school student and hacker who, thinking he's playing a game, hacks into a supercomputer missile launch control center and simulates a Russian nuclear attack. What is the tactic that he and Dr. Stephen Falcon, played by John Wood, used to stop the very real nuclear counterattack against Russia that the computer is about to launch? Wow, is that one sentence? Sorry. Anyway, what was the tactic that they used to stop this supercomputer from attacking Russia? A, they redirect it to an uninhabited part of Siberia and hope for the best. B, they direct the computer to play a tic-tac-toe game against itself. Or C, they unplug it and then, surprisingly, plug it back in.
My husband would be so mad at me for not knowing this. I think it's B.
Ding, 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 ding,
Yeah,
ding, ding,
that sounds really cinematic. I'm like, I would watch that. I would definitely watch that.
They direct the computer to play tic-tac-toe against itself. This results in a long string of draws, forcing the computer to learn the concept of futility and no-win scenarios.
Wow.
They teach the computer
And then it
how to love.
The computer relinquishes control of the missiles and offers to play a nice game of chess.
Wow.
Because
How
it
about a
includes-
nice game of chess?
Yes, winner, none. Nuclear war is a strange game in which the only winning move is not to play. Let's play a nice game of chess.
Wow, that movie was ahead of its time.
I know.
Don't you think?
It was.
Really ahead of
Very
its
young
time.
Ali Sheedy.
All right, Brooke, this is the
Cute.
last question.
Okay, in this section.
Okay. Of these female nuclear physicists whose work earned Nobel Prizes, which one did not have their work claimed by a man who claimed their work as their own and have their Nobel Prize taken away? Or they never actually got it because their work was claimed. Was it A?
Oh, okay.
Well, you know who?
I was going to say
Mhm.
all
I
of
got it.
them.
Oh, I
Yeah,
got it.
all of them, right.
You don't need to give me a
one
list.
Of the, yeah. A. Qian-Shang Wu, the scientist who worked on the Manhattan Project to build an atomic bomb, developing a process to separate fissionable uranium-235 from uranium-238, which is a key step in accumulating uranium fuel.
Oh.
B. Maria Goeppert-Mayer, the scientist who also worked on the Manhattan Project, working on the shell model of nuclear structure. Or C. Lise Meitner, the scientist who ultimately realized that the result of her team's work represented the splitting of the atom, nuclear fission, in accordance with Einstein's equation E = mc squared.
C.
That is incorrect. It was B, Maria Goeppert-Mayer, who worked on the shell model of nuclear structure. She got her Nobel Prize. The other two their work was claimed by a male scientist that they were working
They
on.
actually call it the shield. Like, instead of the shell, they call it the shield. That's what I had learned, and that's what I remember learning.
I
really?
inverted.
No!
I
Oh, she's
apologize.
making that up. You
I
inverted
inverted the question. I inverted the question.
I see.
And that means the nuclear explosion's about to happen.
Well, I'm
That's
sorry.
the plan.
Okay, I was choosing someone who had their
Who had it taken
ideas
Yes.
stolen by
Give her
men
the
because
point. Give her the point.
I'll take
Whatever.
it. I
Give her the
do want to
point.
take
That's
it
okay.
because
Yeah.
My
here's the thing,
questions
it's like
are
that's
confusing.
so
It's fine.
that's so crazy that
Yes, it was
because I
taken
was
away
trying to
from
do
her.
by the idea of like deduction, but that's really crazy that two women both working on the same project,
Yeah.
one
got
did
the
not
credit.
get recognized or receipt. That's
Well,
shitty.
one was Chinese, so
Right.
you know,
got
Could
it.
have been a factor.
it could have been a factor. Yeah, but
Communism.
they literally all were did incredible work. They were later recognized for their work, but they didn't get the Nobel Prize, even though their male counterparts did.
Here's what I learned today, ladies.
Talk to us.
I don't remember anything you just said, and I'm just going to watch the opening credits of The Simpsons next time I try to remember what nuclear
Good job.
power plants are.
It's nuclear.
Good job, ladies.
All right, everybody.
All right.
We have one more
We
quick
have one more
game.
quiz, and this one is for Andrea. All right.
But everyone else, they both have to answer.
Yes,
right?
we're
Oh,
going
okay.
to social studies.
Just to make her happy.
Okay. This one is very Andrea specific because apparently she knows everything about Christian Slater.
Oh. It's coming back to me. Okay, let's try it.
So we're going to play a game called Slater Quizzy. See what I did there? Slater Kenny? See what I did?
Slater Kenny, Slater
Oh.
I got it. They're back on tour. Anyways.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Fun fact, my boyfriend lives in a house that Christian Slater once lived in many moons ago.
Aw, I didn't know that.
And so did Eddie Furlong. And
What?
so did Adam West and whoever played Batman.
What?
I mean, whoever played Robin at that time. They lived
Oh.
Together as Batman and Robin.
Yes.
Ooh.
Isn't that
Interesting.
neat?
They're
Do you think they
roomies?
had-
Roommates? I know. I was like,
They were the
Sean.
practice lines on the roof, their neighbor said.
I need Sean to come in
Wow.
here and do his
Putting it
Christian
on.
Slater.
So I learned a lot about Christian Slater prepping for this quiz. Never thought I'd really think about.
Yeah.
I like
Sure.
Christian Slater. Apparently, he used to get drunk and assault people a lot. Didn't know it. Didn't know it. Didn't remember that.
Really surprised.
But he's changed his ways. He is a big advocate for women getting paid the same as men in Hollywood. So, people change. They get sober. They, live their lives. We don't know. We don't know the story. So, who knows? Who knows how bad it is? Okay.
Just as victims.
Let's start with Andrea. All right. Christian Slater, let's talk about his eyebrows.
Okay.
He is all eyebrows all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And many interviewers, when he first came onto the scene, were obsessed with his eyebrows. So there's all these interviews with him being asked about his eyebrows. Tell me about the shape of your eyebrows.
You're looking at him. You tell me about the shape of my eyebrows. What kind of a question?
You're looking at him.
Next question.
Early on in his career, when interviewed, Christian Slater claimed that his thin and pointy eyebrows were the result of shaving half of each one of them as a child in order to, A, commit to a more authentic Spock costume for Halloween, B, join a neighborhood boy gang that shaved off half their eyebrows, or C, impersonate Jack Nicholson, his hero, which clearly went all wrong.
I'm leaning C. But I feel like he's a huge Star Trek fan too. I'm just gonna do C.
That is incorrect.
Is it A?
It is A.
God damn it!
Which he later took it back and said, look, I was a young Hollywood star. I wanted a cool story. It's just how my eyebrows are. But, Andrea, you are correct. He is a huge, huge, huge Jack Nicholson fan.
I know that I knew, yeah.
Yes. And in the beginning of his career, in Heathers, he would really just impersonate
basically
Jack
an
Nicholson.
impression, right.
Yes. Which I didn't really think about, and then as soon as I read it, I was
that makes sense.
JD is all Jack Nicholson.
So much sense. Okay, Brooke.
Yes.
Slater essentially grew up inside the entertainment industry. His mom was a casting director, Mary Jo Slater, and his father is actor Michael Hawkins, a.k.a. Tom Slater, arguably best known for his portrayal of Ryan in the soap opera Ryan's Hope. Back in February 2016, so not that long ago, Tom Slater, Christian Slater's father, filed a $20 million lawsuit against his son. Why was he trying to sue his son? Was it A, because he claims he was responsible for Slater's career and wants a cut? B, because he claimed that his son defamed him in the press? Or C, because he claims he once booked a role that was written for him and he was suing for lost wages. So he was supposed to get the job, Christian Slater got it, and he's like, oh, hell no. A, B, or C?
I'm very tantalized by the pettiness of C.
Yeah, it's fun, right?
Yeah, it's super fun.
It's a fun one.
But it's incorrect.
That is incorrect.
Oh, what is it?
He actually, Christian Slater did an interview in 2015 about his dad being a schizophrenic.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was suing his son for defaming him in the press. And eventually the lawsuit was thrown out because of lack of significant legal grounding.
What a waste of time and money. Jeez.
I know.
And
What a bummer to have that happen.
It's a great way to build and bond relationships, to really strengthen family
I
ties.
think it's a very healing part of the healing process.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so thankful I'm not from a Hollywood all the times when you're like, if only I just grew up connected.
Right.
And then you're like,
Yeah.
my dad sued me for $20 million.
I was honest about my trauma of my childhood.
Right. Yeah.
It's like, okay. All right, Andrea. He replaced River Phoenix in Interview with the Vampire after River Phoenix died.
Mm-hmm.
The pair were born just a year apart, and they consistently auditioned for the same projects. The two actors' careers followed a similar trajectory up until Phoenix tragically died in 1993. Can't believe it's been so long. We're so old. So, as a result, Christian Slater accepted the role that had been offered to River Phoenix in Interview with the Vampire. And when Interview with the Vampire was released in 1994, Slater did what as a tribute to River Phoenix? Did he A, donate his whole paycheck to River Phoenix's favorite charities? B, mention him and thank him in every single interview surrounding the movie's release? Or C, sent River Phoenix's family a huge gift basket with a signed poster inside from the whole cast of the movie?
I'm going to go A.
That is correct.
Yeah.
He donated
I like
all
that.
his money?
Yeah, to
Wow.
whatever charity. I don't know which charities.
That's amazing.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
It's funny.
That's big.
River Phoenix's favorite charity was giving to Christian Slater. So that was
Turned
interesting.
just
Funny
came
how
full
Mhm.
circle.
He was like, here,
Failed
you
to
just
mention
have more
that.
of my crumbs, asshole, because I get all the roles and you don't. That's what River Phoenix
Yeah.
used to say. Yeah.
All right. I think it's Brooke. Is it Brooke? Yes.
Oh yeah.
Brooke's turn.
Oh yeah.
All right. Slater turned down the
I
chance
got a
to be-
baboon heart.
I,
Right?
he thinks he's got a baboon heart.
I love that movie so much.
Oh.
Slater turned down his chance to be in even more classic films in the 80s and 90s. Which one of these is not, so don't invert this guy. Which one of these is not a movie that he was considered for? And
Hold on. I'm not okay. So
So, I'll tell you the three.
are you starting to see some of my learning disabilities? Choose
Choose which one he didn't
Which one
turn down.
he didn't audition for. We'll say it
Oh.
like that.
Oh no, which one he didn't get offered.
Yes, let's do
So
that.
everything else, okay, so the true ones will be what he did get offered and turned down.
Yes.
What I'm looking for is the one he
You're looking for the
didn't
other-
get offered and he just didn't get
Yes.
offered. Okay.
Yes. Pulp Fiction, The Crow, and Edward Scissorhands. Pulp Fiction, The Crow, Edward Scissorhands. So which one of these was he not ever considered for or ever auditioned for?
I'm going to say he never auditioned for The Crow.
That is incorrect.
I'm gonna go
He
Pulp
actually, you're going Pulp Fiction. He actually was offered a role by the studio in Pulp Fiction. And then Tarantino came in and was like, I have someone else in mind. It was
Tim
Eric
Roth?
Stoltz.
for
Was it Tim Roth?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ah.
Is so fun.
Yes, and The Crow, he was also in the running for The Crow, which we all know that he died in a stunt
Right.
during that movie, so that wouldn't have been good. But yes, I made up Edward Scissorhands because it just seemed like a fun. I was going to say Beetlejuice,
right.
but that seemed crazy.
Because he had like a weird boner for Winona Ryder, and like obviously that was
Yes.
never going to happen because she was a that doy.
Yes.
Oh, I know, but the reason I was like, because I'm like, we know Christian Slater and Winona from Heathers.
Right.
So I kind of maybe thought, okay, got it.
Yes.
Okay,
All right.
well, I'm glad we didn't lose Christian because he's back, baby. God, I love him in the Betty Broderick, Dirty John series.
I have not seen that, but
It's
I find
great.
him to
He
be
is
very,
A
very
plus
sexy.
Christian Slatering. He's Christian Slatering so hard.
Okay, this next question is for you both. Okay, this is our last question before we get to tallying up the points. So, here we go. Now, I guess because we're playing two, Andrea right now is in the lead with 6 points. Brooke has 4. So this one's going to be worth 2 points. Okay?
That's great.
Okay.
And
We'll
we're
do
gonna
a tiebreaker if we have to. All right. Does that make sense? Who knows?
yes.
Okay. Christian Slater appeared in one of the biggest flops in Broadway history. As a child of entertainment professionals, he grew up attending performance art school in New York, and he had done a fair share of theater. As a young teenager at the beginning of his career, he appeared in the musical Blank, one of the biggest flops in Broadway history. Was it A, Dance a Little Closer, a musical about nuclear war?
Whoa!
A, B, Rockabye Hamlet, a show based on William Shakespeare's well-known Hamlet, but updated with the help from an electric guitar.
Yeah!
Or C, Merlin the Musical, a star
C.
vehicle. Yes! Andrea for the win! Merlin the Musical for celebrity magician Doug Henning's magic. Holy shit, you won with your Slater knowledge.
Oh,
Wow.
my
Wow.
If we're talking about Brooke, I would say Slater.
Wowzer.
Wow.
Very loud.
Wow.
Woo!
Before we gloat in all of our glory,
I didn't know that this was a topic in school, everybody. Anyway.
Yes, social studies. Merlin the Musical opened on Broadway on February 13th, 1983.
Good for them.
They had 199 performances and 69 previews. Oh, the cast. The cast was Cheetah Rivera, one of my favorites.
She's lovely.
Nathan Lane,
Whoa.
and a young Christian Slater.
Wow.
Amazing.
Yes.
Did he play a wizard?
He played
probably
the
the-
young magician.
Yeah.
Like the magician when he was younger. Oh my God, Brooke.
Wow.
Is everything okay? Is it okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay.
This is par for the course.
She says she's not going to plug the show for sure when it comes out. She's
I know.
Not gonna,
We just want this to be fun for
No one's
everyone.
gonna
So
know
if there's,
that,
This
dude.
isn't real life, you know?
She's not interested.
if there's anything we can do to make this better before Andrea just
No.
gloats.
No,
I
I'm fine.
It's
You
okay.
can take your headphones out for her valedictorian
Yeah, if you
speech
need
if
to
you
like
want
go
to.
in the
Oh.
corner
Yeah,
and
this
sing
is
to
this is a
yourself.
safe space. You can remove yourself and come back when you're
I mean,
ready.
I'm just
It's
going to
fine.
take out
Yeah.
this one and cover it.
Can I give Brooke one of my... I'd like to give Brooke one of my points
Okay,
so we can
even
tie.
if you gave her one of your points, which would
You
be
would still
very
win.
nice, the score would be 7-5. So you were
6-5 if you gave
Is
her
it?
one.
'Cause there's
If you
two
gave her one of
here.
your points.
Are we doing math
Oh,
again?
there's two.
Jesus
Never
Christ,
mind.
you
She's
guys.
making Marsha do math.
Sorry, no.
So Andrea, as our winner, you get to look at all of us and say "fuck you, I'm smarter," and then you also get to have a Victorian speech.
Yes, but
A
be
valedictorian.
but to the style of the
Victorian.
Victorian lady.
Him.
Yes, in any order you want, take the floor.
As we sit here together today as a collective, I think that we all know that whether we lean hard into pop culture 90s trivia of Christian Slater or the life skills of nuclear power and how it fuels our economy, that we all play our roles and are a puzzle piece that fit into a bigger picture that make the world complete.
Wow.
But as I stand here in front of you, also, I want you to know that fuck you, I'm smarter!
Yay!
Yeah.
Well, we are so happy for you. Congratulations. Brooke, you played a mean game.
Thank you. I am the product of Christian school, not Christian Slater school, apparently.
Oh, ding, ding, ding.
The only thing I'm sure your parents did wrong.
I wish I went to Christian Slater school.
That'd be so fun. So, ladies,
Wow.
plug all your plugs. Where can our listeners find you? Any shows coming up, your podcast, all the things.
I would just say, please, if you are in the service industry yourself and want to relate and have a cathartic, funny listening experience, or you want to learn more about what we do and how you can be an awesome customer, Andrea, they check out Sidework Podcast. For
Yes, I
real.
have a podcast. You know, we also have a whole podcast network that we started called One Star Podcast Network,
That's
showcasing
amazing.
us and a handful of other great shows, like kind of coming from every single walk of front of house, even some back of house experiences. Yeah. And you can go to onestarnetwork.com. Yeah.
I think it's the easier landing pages. If you're on Instagram, Sidework Podcast will fan you out
Get
to
you all over
everybody.
there. You'll see it all.
Yeah. You'll find us, you'll
Amazing.
find them.
Yes.
That's
Yeah,
I'm
you
like,
can go down any kind of hole you want, guys. Choose your own adventure over there.
Pick a hole. Go with it.
And I will just say about we did it a few weeks ago. It was so fun, but also I'm a listener and I love listening to it, and I love you guys. People send in their funny stories of when they were waiting tables or different customers.
It's so relatable. It's so
very,
relatable.
very fun feedback about you two ladies specifically too.
Yay.
People really
Awesome.
enjoyed the diversion from the usual restaurant shenanigans, and they were properly horrified when we were like, "It's like working at a bar and everyone stays the night."
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You give them breakfast.
We talked about working at a hotel, and one of the biggest stories we told was about a teddy bear that stayed at the hotel that has way more money than us, and plugged her social media.
Wing of the house.
That sounds good.
I know.
You.
I wonder if she got
I'm sure she did.
Likes went up. Or
They
her followers
had
went up.
listeners like wanting her information and looking at all her pictures. I mean, it was
Charlotte. Gotta
Charlotte
freaking love her.
I feel like we did a good job sheltering the owner himself. There was, because I was like, he's just an eccentric, harmless man.
Yes, he's a lovely person.
He really is.
Yeah. Yes, no one, please, only if you're going to
say nice things.
Yes, if you're going to engage, do it respectfully.
Sorry you're jealous of a teddy bear, but be nice to the owner because clearly he has
absolutely.
That's right.
I mean, I'm just saying this, and forgive me if this offends anyone. Inanimate object gets more love than any of us will ever know in our whole goddamn lives. I think.
God bless her.
1,000%.
God bless her. What are you gonna do?
It's true.
Well,
probably has a better
Andrea
education
Wallace,
too.
Brooke Van Poppelen. Thank you, ladies, so much for being here. This was really super fun.
You.
Can't wait to go hag spotting.
Yes,
hag spotting.
Yeah, in a few weeks.
As soon as we get back from our trip, it's on. Hags are us.
Enjoy your travels out there. Stay safe.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You can follow us at Kelly and Lindsay. You can plug all your plug buttholes there.
Where? You want them to do that on?
I want them to plug their buttholes.
Yeah, DM us for that.
And we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, ladies.
Awesome.
That was super fun.
Thank you so much. That was great.
Can't wait to hang with you ladies when we get back.
Yeah, just email us those recordings or however, drop off, whatever
Send it right over.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. See you ladies soon.
Bye.
Bye.
When do you share? Sorry.
What?
When do you share it?
Great question.
Oh,
2
okay.
weeks
No worries.
maybe?
Just let us know.
We'll let you know.
I'll give you guys a heads up because I want some fun, like old school pictures, like high school or middle school pictures.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
So I'll give you a heads up. Like I'll be like, hey, your episode's out on Monday. We premiere them on Mondays. So I'll just be like, your episode's out on Monday. Just send me some fun pics.